Relations have been thawing recently between Iran and the U.S. after nuclear negotiators met in Geneva earlier this month, but the rapprochement is far from universally applauded at home. Hardliners have set up posters across Tehran to show another message: American negotiator in combat fatigues aiming a gun at Iranian negotiators from under the table. Anti-American posters and billboards posted across Tehran's highways demonstrate the depth of mistrust of the U.S. by conservatives who are opposed to President Hassan Rouhani's reaching out to the West. But Tehran authorities have ordered the anti-U.S. billboards to be removed, part of a running conflict between moderates and hardliners on how to deal with Washington. A survey of the capital by the Associated Press shows that most of the posters were pulled down by Saturday noon. The high production values of the banners and posters suggest possible connection to the powerful propaganda machinery of well-funded groups such as the Revolutionary Guard or its nationwide paramilitary network known as the Basij. The American Honesty anti-U.S. billboard campaign is the latest offensive by hardliners who have already questioned the secrecy of nuclear negotiations with the six-nation group. Our people have seen nothing but dishonesty, deception of public opinion, betrayal, and backstabbing by the Americans in recent years. Ever since the Americans took control over the country in 1953, therefore, they can in no way trust American promises and deceiving smiles. Iranian diplomats who met in Geneva with negotiators from the United States, Russia, China, Britain, France, and Germany hope to ease the crippling economic and oil sanctions placed on Tehran over its contested nuclear program in return for curtailing of its uranium enrichment activities. Both sides have refused to disclose details of a plan proposed by Iran in Geneva, saying keeping the contents of the plan confidential shows the seriousness of the talks. But hardliners fear that Iranian negotiators may offer too many concessions in return for little. They keep warning Iran's negotiating team that Americans are unworthy of trust who have no intention other than harming the Islamic Republic. What change has happened at the international level regarding our relations with America? Please tell us what has changed so that we can decide to stop the slogans because of that change. Hardliners plan to step up their anti-U.S. campaign as Iranian nuclear negotiators prepare for a next round of talks with the six-nation group on November 7th through the 8th. Hamidreza Shukuri, a journalist at the pro-reform Madom Solari newspaper, says, given the 35 years of state-sponsored program against the U.S., such expressions of anger shouldn't surprise anyone. Public opinion cannot easily digest that everything has suddenly changed and Iran now wants to establish relations with the U.S. It simply doesn't seem normal to some people. Shukuri says a possible deal in the next round of nuclear talks, due in Geneva in early November, would silence and marginalize the hardliners. If the Iranian negotiators can achieve something meaningful in the next round of talks in Geneva, it would naturally help create a better atmosphere for positive interaction between Iran and the West. And it would also make domestic outcry by hardliners less severe, and this would be to the benefit of both parties. This is Armando Cordoba for Read All English.